Should fans of the National Hockey League have hope, and if so, how much? Welcome into the Sporting News Studios to talk about the lockouts. My name is Tom Vandervoort, and joining me now on the phone, our Sporting News hockey writer, Jesse Spector. And Jesse, you've been living this thing every single day for a while now. It feels like this might be the end game, but I've been optimistic before and disappointed before. What's your sense of where negotiations stand right now?
It's been a strange week where you've had Steve Fear and Bill Daly, the special counsel for the NHLPA and the deputy commissioner of the NHL, giving a side-by-side statement of pretty much optimism on late Tuesday night, and then late Wednesday night you get these statements from Ron Hainsey, the Winnipeg Jets defenseman, speaking for the NHLPA, and then Daly again for the NHL, speaking separately well after midnight and just giving very terse statements that led to a lot of pessimism. So it's been up and down and not a lot of details coming out officially. You get a lot of reported leaks and details that way of what's being offered on the table, and a lot of going back and forth, and it just, every time you get the leaks coming out, that seems to be a reason to believe that things are going off the rails, just because it always seems like one side is letting the rest of the world know what the other side is balking at and thinking that they seem like they're the measured, level-headed side in this. And it's been very tense and remains so. It seems like they're not that far apart, but at the same time, it seems like they're pretty far apart on some other things. They're close on the money. The money is, maximum $150 million on a difference of what they're asking each other for. But things like contract issues, 5-year maximum term that the NHL wants to see, maybe up to 7 years for re-signing your own free agents, that's something the NHLPA wants no part of. It's a small issue because not that many players are on those super long-term deals, but there are other things. There's other contract rights as well. Length of the CBA is also an issue. And it's a lot of sticking points, and there's still a lot of work to be done. And it doesn't seem like they're making that much progress on some of those issues where it's maybe more yes-no questions than things where there's room to meet in the middle.
How much is this thing driven by the practical need to reach an agreement, and how much is being driven by the emotional need for each side to feel like they were able to control the process and sort of win or not lose in the case of the players?
Yeah, I think that the progress comes when they take that pragmatic side, and you saw when some moderate people on either side got involved, and especially on the ownership side when they brought Ron Burkle from the Pittsburgh Penguins in, Larry Tannenbaum from the Toronto Maple Leafs, and Mark Chipman from the Winnipeg Jets at the beginning of the week. When they came in, I think that you started to see some fresh voices and started to see some progress. But then it also just becomes this, it's been such an entrenched battle, and there's been such a lack of trust between the sides that looking for that win is still a very important thing, and trying to set things up for the next go-around, because this is not just a one-time thing. This is not a CBA that's going to be set in stone for life. You're going to be looking at this happening again in either 10 years if the NHL gets its way on the length of a CBA, or shorter than that, maybe 5, 6, 7 years if the NHLPA gets its way.
The last thing, I got to wrap it up and let you go, but if I have to pin you down, are you optimistic right now, or are you kind of pessimistic right now?
I think I'm still in that trademark mood of this week, which is cautious optimism, because it just feels like there's no way that they can be silly enough to let the season go down the drain over what are really some pretty minor issues. Now, that being said, nobody thought that they would be silly enough to cancel the Winter Classic, and they did that, and you don't put anything past the NHL when it comes to running its own business into the ground. They've proven themselves quite adept at that. So it's a cautious optimism at best.
All right, Jesse, I'm right there with you. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.